Hey guys, in this video we will learn how to create a login with Facebook functionality for our website. And as a quick demo, I'm going to show you the following. Let's say we have a login.php file where we have our login form. So there is the login.php file, and here we have a form. There is a field for the username, another field for the password, and then we have a button to submit this form. But next to this button we will have another button which is going to say login with Facebook. So whenever somebody will click on this button, we will redirect the user to Facebook. So here is Facebook. Now the user goes to Facebook, and Facebook is going to ask for permission for this app to get the data from their Facebook account. And if they accept it, then we redirect the user to, Facebook is going to redirect the user to callback PHP file. So this is going to be Facebook callback. And then whenever we redirect the user to this file, Facebook is also going to send data. It's going to send the data we need from their Facebook account. So this data is going to be, in our example, is going to be the user ID, username, and email. Having all this data in this file, we can either insert it in the database, or we can create cookies, or we can start a new PHP session and assign all this data to that PHP session. And in this example, we will start a new PHP session, we will assign all this data to that PHP session, and then after that we will redirect the user to index.php. We redirect the user to index.php, and then on this page we will output all the data we have in our PHP session. So there is going to be a table, and in this table we will have user ID, username, and user email. So let's go ahead and get started.
So here I have my PHP files. There's index.php, callback.php, login.php, and there's another one which is config.php. This config.php file is going to have the Facebook app ID and the Facebook app secret key. We will need this ID and secret key to get the data from our Facebook account. Now let's go ahead and start with our login.php. You may want to create these files in the same order. It's going to be easier for you to follow up. And I also wanted to mention that I'm going to use XAMPP. So if you already work with XAMPP, you already know that there is an htdocs folder, which is the main folder, and then in that folder I created another folder which is the login Facebook, and I have here my files. This Facebook folder needs to be removed for now. Okay, my Apache is running, MySQL is running. I'll just close it, and then here in our login.php file we will have an HTML5 page. So there's HTML5, and the page title is gonna be login with Facebook. And here I also want to import Bootstrap, so this is going to be easier for me to add that form. And if we search on Google for Bootstrap, their website is getbootstrap.com, and from the home page just click on download button, and here they have CDNs. I'm just gonna copy this CSS file from here. They also provide a JavaScript library, but I don't need that in this example. I'll paste it here, and then I'm just gonna paste the code here in our body section, which is gonna be a form, and I'll show you from where you can get it. If you go right now on Google and search for Bootstrap forms, they have forms, they have examples here. So I'm using this example from here, but I also added some div class, Bootstrap div classes. There is a div class container, and I inserted a margin top 100 pixels. There's another div class role, justify content center, so it just centers the content. And then there's another 6 columns div class here with an aligned center, of course. And here we have our form. This is the code from here. The only change I made is this input type submit button, because they have it in this way. They have a button tag and then the value of that button, and then they close the tag. I just replaced it and I made it this way: input type submit, value enter, and then there's the class. So I will save this file, and I'm working, of course, using XAMPP. I'm working on the local host. Now if I refresh this page, this is the form we get right now. Now you saw the previous with a button here, because this is not the first time I'm trying to record this video. That's why you saw that, but this is the result we get right now with all this code I have here. Now I also want to add another button which is gonna say login with Facebook. So I'll just duplicate this line, and wherever we have our value I will say login with Facebook, and wherever we have our type I wanna put the button. Okay, I will save it, refresh it, and we see our button here. And now it doesn't do anything right now because we don't have any functionality yet. And this is when we start with our config.php file. In our config.php file, we will open the PHP tag, and here we will have to require the library. So if we go right now on github.com/facebook/php graph SDK, here we have the Facebook PHP library too, which provides us all these services to be able to create this login with Facebook button. You can search on Google and you'll find this repository on GitHub. And now from here we want to download it as a zip file, and it's going to be saved under my downloads folder. So if I open it, I'm going under downloads, I have it here, so I have it already multiple times, and I'm gonna extract it, and then I will open this folder, and then I'm gonna open the source folder, and this is the folder. The Facebook is the folder I want to copy it from here because we have our alpha load in this folder. So I'll copy it. I'll go back to my htdocs from my exam folder and log in Facebook, and I will paste this Facebook folder here. Now I want to require this file from here, so I'll be able to. That file has a dependency of the library, so this is how we will be able to get all the data we need from there. So here we have require once, and there is Facebook/authorload.php, and then below we will have another variable, and we will assign to this variable a Facebook object which will have parameters. As a parameter is going to be the app ID, app secret, and default graph version. So we have Facebook object, and we assign new object which is \Facebook, and then we have parameters here. There is the app ID, and then we have app secret, and then here is the default graph version. Alright, save it for now, and let's go ahead and create our Facebook app now. If we access developers.facebook.com/apps, this is the page from where we create our Facebook app. So there's a green button right here. We click on add new app. We want to choose the display name here, and then a contact email. Click on create app ID. This is asking us to make sure we're not mountains or hills. So alright, let's see. Okay, click submit. And now from this page we have on the left side settings. If we click there, there's going to be a drop down menu, and then click on basic. So we go under basic settings right now, and here we should have our app ID and app secret. Let's go ahead and copy the app ID and paste it here, and also we have this app secret. We want to do the same thing, copy it and paste it here. Now wherever we have our default graph version, this is going to be v2.10. Okay, let's go back to our app, and here wherever is the app domains, I will insert localhost because the URL I work from a localhost. If you have your domain, insert your domain there. If you work on a live domain, so this is localhost here. Now, if we scroll down, there's gonna be add platform. I click on that, and from here I'm gonna choose website, and wherever we have our site URL, I will insert http localhost/login Facebook because this is the folder where I have all my files. And then after that, I'll just click Save Changes. Alright, and then we can just go back to our config.php, and below our object, wherever we assign a new object to the Facebook object variable, we should have another variable which is the handler, and we assign the redirect login helper to this variable. So using the Facebook object, we assign to get redirect login helper. Okay, we will save this file, and then we will go under login.php, and we will require it here on top of this HTML code. So here we will have PHP tags, and then require once. This is gonna be config.php. Alright, I'm gonna save it, and then below here we will have two more variables. Let's say redirect to, and this is gonna be the URL we want to redirect the user whenever they confirm the, let's say they will click on this button. They will go on Facebook, and Facebook's gonna ask for permission. If they accept it, and after they will accept it, they will be redirected to this URL. So this should be the callback.php file. So if we will create a new variable here, and then we will put http, it's gonna be localhost slash login Facebook slash callback.php. Alright, and then we also want to get email. By default we get the name and the ID, Facebook name and Facebook ID. But actually, so let's put here, we have data, let's say email. You'll understand in a second what I'm writing here. Okay, and this way we get the full URL, and then it's gonna be the handler. This is the handler from our config.php file, and then here get a login URL, and here we have the redirect to first parameter, and then we have the data. Okay, so now we get the full URL. We assign this URL and this data. This is like a get variable. We want to get the email because by default we get the user ID and username from Facebook. Now if we go on developers.facebook.com/tool/explorer here, I'll just refresh the page. Here I can show you what I mean by doing all this stuff on here wherever we have the data. So if I click on submit right now, it tells me that an active access token must be used to query information about the current user. This is the information it requires right now. That's why it tells me, because I didn't insert it here, you know. And then now if I click on get token and get user access token, from here we can choose what kind of data we want to get from our account. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'll just click on get access token, and now it's asking me for permission. Login will receive, this is the app name we choose whenever we created the app, and then your name and profile picture. You see, by default, because we have it here already, name and the profile picture. There's ID too by default, as I already said. So here I'm just gonna click continue as Victor, and it got a token here. And if I click submit now, we can see that there is the ID and the Victor. This is the name, the username, user ID and username. I don't know if you see it because it's really small. Okay, now I want to get an email, of course, so I'll put here email, but whenever I will click submit, it doesn't show up here because I didn't get the token access for it. So if I'm click on the get token access, I choose email from here, get access token, and it's asking me again for confirmation. It says will receive your email address. I'll say continue, and then from here if I click submit, we can see the user ID is here, username, and then the email. Okay, so this is what I did in this file. I had the URL, and then this is the additional data I want to require. Okay, and now having the full URL with the data I'm requiring from Facebook, now I can go under my login with Facebook button, and I want to add an on-click listener, and here I want to use I want to put JavaScript, so I'll just type in window location. Let's see, here we will have a PHP tag, and then echo full URL. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna go back to my form, refresh it, and see everything is good. I will inspect this button to see if we get that URL. Excuse me. So here we can see that there's the URL with client ID, type SDK, and this is the full URL from where we require the data. Excuse me. So whenever I click on this button now, it redirects me to callback.php file. You see this file right here, and there's the code. This is the code here. It's a long code. See, the state has everything here. The same thing it has here. This is the stuff that you have in that URL right now. Alright, so we're being redirected to callback.php now. Now from here we should create our callback.php file. Alright, so this is our callback.php. Here we want to require the config.php file as well. So we have our PHP tag, and here's require once. Config.php, and now we will have a try method. So we will try to get the access token. So we have access token variable, and then here we're using our handler. We will get the access token. Alright, now here we will use catch, and here we will check if it catched any Facebook response exception. Then we want to output that response on the screen. So we have catch, and then \Facebook, \exceptions, \Facebook response exception. Okay, and then here we want to echo response exception. and then here we will have to concatenate, and we will have E, because here we will save the error. So E, and then get message. Alright, and then if it catches another exception, so we have another there's another backslash Facebook backslash exceptions backslash Facebook SDK exception, and here should be E. This is the object that's gonna have the exception, and then we want to output SDK exception and concatenate it, and using the E object we want to output get message, and then just exit, and we should also exit it right here. Okay, and then below here we will check if it's different, which means if there isn't anything in our access token variable. So access token variable, then we just want to redirect the user to the login.php file. And then just exit the execution. And then below here, if it has some, if this if doesn't get fired up, then below it's gonna go ahead and execute the rest of the code. So we have here auth to client, and using the Facebook object we will get the authentication. So it's gonna be get auth to client. Make sure I don't misspell it here. Alright, and then below here we will check one more time. We will have another if statement, and if is different access token. So if this condition from here is not true, let's see, access token, make sure not misspell it. If this is not true right here, then we want to assign to the access token throw the authentication. So we have oops. Okay, auth to client, and then we have get long lived access token, access token variable here. And then below here, this means we get all the data. So we get the data here, not data, but the access token, in order to be able to access the data. So now here we will have another variable which is going to be a response. And then this response is going to have the URL from where we want to get the data, and then in this URL we will also have the variables we want to get, or what kind of data we want to get from Facebook. So we will have response using the Facebook object. From here we will have the get method, and then in this get method we will have slash me question mark fields, and then here we have ID. This is what we want to get. We want to get the ID, we want to get the first name, we want to get the last name, we want to get the email, and we also want to get a picture. Picture type is gonna be large, and we want to get this data using this access token. Alright, now here we will have to assign the response to our user data variable. So we'll have user data, and we assign the response, and then using the get graph node as an array. So we will assign the data in an array format. Okay, and now below here we want to create the session. As I said at the beginning of the video, we will start a session. So to do that, we actually should go back in our config.php file, and here on top we should write session start. So it's gonna be session start, like that. Save it. Let's go back to our callback, and then here we will have session. We will have a variable in our session which is gonna be user data, and we will assign the data from Facebook to this user data session. So we have here user data. Now also we want to create another variable in our session, our PHP session, because this session is going to be saved on the server. So here we have session, and the variable is going to be access token, and we will assign the access token to this session, the access token we use to get the data from Facebook. So we have string access token. Okay, and then after that we just redirect the user to index.php. And then we exit the execution of the program. Alright, let's see if this works. So let's go back and refresh this page. Let's click on login with Facebook, and then as we see, we're being redirected to index.php. So we went to Facebook redirected us to this callback.php. All this code got executed, and then after that we just, this file redirected us to index.php, and we see it here. Now in our index.php file we should write some code to output all this data from our PHP session. So let's go ahead and do that. But first of all, we want to start a session here too. So we'll have session start, and then here we will have an if statement which will check if you saw here we assign to the access token, we assign the access token from our code, we assign it to the session. So here we'll have an if statement. This is going to be if we have the session if we have the access token in our PHP session. If we don't have it, we want to direct the user to login PHP. If we have it, we're gonna output this page. So we have like that, if set, if there isn't anything in our session access token. Okay, then we redirect the user to login.php. and we exit the execution. Okay, but if not, we'll have an HTML5 page here. This is gonna say my profile, and of course we want to import here Bootstrap, so I'll just copy that line from login.php and I'll paste it here. And in our body section, I will also paste I'll paste an HTML code just to save time, guys, because this video is quite long already. So this is the body from here. This is the code I posted here. So there is a div class container as in the previous file, margin to 100 pixels, just justifies content center, and there's the column of there's a 3-column div class, and this one I'll probably remove it from here. I don't need it all the way. Okay, there's a div class, 9-column div class here, and then there's a table. We have a table. There's the table body, and then this is the first line, second line right here, third line, and then the fourth line. Now the first line is for the ID, and then we get using the session. We have the user data assigned here. We assign the user data as an array to our user data variable, and then the user data variable is being assigned to our user data session. So we get the user data from our session, and we have the ID here. And then we have the first name, last name, and then the email. So if I'm gonna save this file, if I go back and refresh this index.php file, we can see that I get all the data from here. And the thing I just removed from there, it was for the profile picture. So I'm just gonna go back and leave it there. This should be the profile picture. For some reason it didn't work for me, but I'm just gonna save it now and try one more time. So if I refresh it now, there you go, it works. Now on the left side we have, this is my profile picture from my Facebook account. So another thing I wanted to do in my login.php file is the following. After, just below this require ones, I want to put another if statement, something similar to this one. So I'll just copy this stuff and paste it here. And if we have the access token in our PHP session, it means that we are already logged in, so we don't have to see this login form. Because if I'm going right now on my login.php file, you see I see this form. I shouldn't see it because I'm already logged in. And now if I save this file with this if statement, and if I refresh this login.php file, actually it redirects me to login.php. It needs to redirect me to index.php. So I see it redirected me to index. If I type in login.php, press enter, it redirects me to index.php file. So this is a quite long tutorial, guys, but I tried my best to explain how this Facebook functionality works and how you can get the data from Facebook, because you can do a bunch of cool stuff using this login with Facebook button functionality. And if you like the video, please leave your thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like more of my tutorials, if you would like to get more tutorials like this, please subscribe to this channel. And if you have a wish or something or suggestions or anything, just leave in the comments and I'll do my best to help you out, guys. Thank you very much and see you in the next tutorial.